Okay, it gets a little bit trickier for question 5, and I'm going to hope that you can read this. It's a little bit blurry, but listen carefully. So it says, calculate precisely the value of D from problem 4. Okay, so our restriction is that we are given epsilon is equal to 1. So what I know is that my y value can go as high as 7, my y value can go as low as 5. So I'm gonna look at this, and I'm gonna say, let's find out where, for what x value, our y value is going to be 7, for what x value, our y value is going to be 5. So I'm writing two equations. And I'm setting y equal to 7, and I'm setting y equal to 5. And I'm just going to see what my d value is going to be. So if I take my first equation and solve for x, that's going to give me, let's see, 7 minus 4 is 3. Then I'm going to divide by negative 2. So that's going to give me negative 3 halves is equal to x minus 6 to the 1/3. I'm going to cube both sides, so I get negative 27 eighths is x minus 6. And this is going to give me, I'm going to use a calculator here. So I have 6 minus 27 divided by 8 is, x is, I get 2.625. And I'm going to look at the other equation. I'm going to subtract 4, so that gives me 1 divided by negative 2. So I have negative 1/2 is equal to x minus 6 to the 1/3. I'm going to cube both sides, so I have negative 1/8 equals x minus 6. And then x is going to be 6 minus 1/8. So x is going to be 5.875. Now, keep in mind, so here's how far left I can go. Here is how far right I can go. What I want to know is the minimum distance I should travel from x is equal to 5. Well, certainly this is a whole lot closer to 5 than this. So my d value is going to be just the amount I'm allowed to stray up to this endpoint. And that's going to cover this restriction. So I'm going to say d is going to be 0.875. If I go 0.875 to the right, I know I'm still meeting this restriction. And if I go 0.875 units to the left of 5, I am well within my range over here. Now for 6, we're going to make this a little bit more restrictive. So what we're saying is that our epsilon value is 0.01. So I know that my function has got to stay within, let's see, I'm saying that the limit is 6. So my function has got to stay within 6.01 and 5.99. So I'm just going to do the math. If my function is 6.01, so I have 6.01 is equal to 4 minus 2 times x minus 6 to the 1/3. Or I can have 5.99 is equal to 4 minus 2 x minus 6 to the 1/3. And again, I'm just going to do the algebra. If I subtract 4, that's going to give me 2.01. I need to divide by negative 2, and then I'm going to cube that thing. So I end up with negative 1.015075 is x minus 6. So my x value in this point, I can go as far to the left as 4.9849. I'm going to do the same thing, 5.99 minus 4 divided by negative 2. I'm going to cube that. And so this gives me negative 0.985074875 is equal to x minus 6. If I add 6, that's going to give me x is 5.014925125. Okay, so the question is, how far am I going to stray from 5? On the right-hand side, my change in x, the amount that I'm going, is 0.0149. On the left, that's going to be 5 minus 4.9849, and that gives me 0.0151, and I want to pick the smaller of the two. So what I'm going to pick is my delta, which is the length of the leash. I can go right or left, is going to be, I'm going to focus on this. And in fact, just to make myself a little bit safer, I'm going to say this is 0.014, right? So that's not the biggest delta that I have, but this delta is going to guarantee whether I go to the right whether I go to the right, whether I go to the left. This is going to guarantee that I am falling, that my y value is going to fall within epsilon units of 6.